Hey, I did not sleep well.
Well, you better wake up because we're going soon.
Oh, man.
Today we're going to be using the jerkbait and smacking some big bass. I mean, like hammering them. You know what? A jerkbait can be deadly.
I need
in cold, clear
to use
water.
the bathroom.
Today I'm going to show you how to use a jerkbait correctly.
Like, seriously. I am not joking.
Step aside and let the man go. Let the man go. Step aside and let the man go. Let the man go.
Welcome to Ditch Outdoor Ministry.
That's a 4-5 right there.
Today we ask the question, how do you serve and honor God with your life?
Monstrous.
Look at the size of this thing, man. Huge.
Now sit back and let's enjoy the video.
Step aside, let the man go. Let the man go.
Hey, you going fishing today?
No, can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Why? What'd you do?
Yeah, crapped on the floor.
Your mom was not happy about that, is she?
Yeah.
You are crazy, man.
She's not happy.
All right,
She's
look.
not happy.
Another time, okay? Go another
Yeah.
time.
All right. Yeah.
Just drove another hour down here to come fish, and I get here, and the wind's blowing from the opposite direction from what they said. It's rough, man. It's real rough. So rough. But hey, I want to put some fish in the boat, so we're gonna give her a shot. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Yeah. Yes.
Bam!
Ooh. One of these bad boys. Nice. Nice pickle pike or something. I'm not playing with him. Heck no. Heck, oh yeah. This is a nice pickerel. Nice one. He's a big boy. He's a big fella. He's a big fella. Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze the crap out of you if you don't knock it off. Not too shabby. Nice little pickerel.
Where would I fish a jerkbait? Well, anywhere that there's rock, I would definitely try that. Ledges are always good, where we're going, say from 5 feet of water dropping down to 20 quickly. That would be a great place. You know, any kind of humps or shoals or anything like that in the lake would be worth trying. You know, and flats are always real good early on, and cold, clear water. If we can find an area, say the size of a football field, where the depth is all the same, and it's going to be fairly shallow, you know, like say 4 or 5, maybe 6 feet of water, but it's the same depth throughout the whole thing. That would be considered a flat. That's a great spot to use a jerkbait.
Nice. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Lord. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Stay on. Oh, I got him. I got him kind of foul hooked. Come on, stay in there. Stay on, please. I need you. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, come on. Oh boy, I don't like the way this is hooked at all. If he jabs me, I'm going to be so mad. This is a decent one. Not too shabby. You know, we just got some chicks at home, little chickens, and I call them the squad. You know, like we have a squad in Washington. Well, I call this is my cheerleading squad. These are my girls, and they're rooting for me, so they cheer me on.
So we have to use the right depth of a jerkbait for our conditions. I like to come through the middle of the water column in cold, clear water. So the fish that are sitting on the bottom are going to come up, and the ones that are up top tend to hit it, you know, because they're ready to feed. So dependent on the depth of water that I'm using, I want my bait to be just about in the center of that. And now as I'm jerking, it's very important in my cadence to make sure that I have slack in my line. That's what gives the erratic movement like this. When my line is taut, I'm just pulling. And the bait just darts like that, okay? But when I have slack and I'm snapping, this is where this movement comes in. So it's still moving forward, but side to side. And that's deadly. And again, they're going to hit it in the pause. Okay, so it's bing, bing, bang, and give it a pause. And that's normally when they're going to hit it.
all back. Perfect. Nice. Oh, beauty, man. Another beauty. There it is.
You know, when I'm fishing a jerkbait, one of the first things I need to do, I'm picking the right bait for my conditions. If I've got cold, clear water and the wind isn't howling, I got a light chop on the water, a jerkbait is the perfect choice. You can use a jerkbait anytime throughout the year, but in cold, clear water, that's when it's at its best. I'm going to want to make a long cast. That's one of the first things I need to do. So you got to have the right poundage. I can't have 50-pound braid on or whatever when I'm using the jerkbait. I want to get as far away from the boat as I possibly can. To give the bass a good chance to look at the bait, first of all, and if we're in cold, very clear water, they're going to see the boat, or they may even see me. So I want to get as far away as I possibly can. And then I'm looking at my cadence, okay? And when I say cadence, I'm talking about how I'm jerking it. So if it's a 1-2 and then a pause, 1-2 pause, or 1-2-3, that's my cadence. In cold water, I'm going to have a longer pause than normal because the fish just aren't as aggressive. In warmer water, I'm going to get very erratic. So it might be 1-2 and then a short pause, and then 1-2-3, pause, 1, bing, bing, boom, boom, bing, very erratic in warmer water. But you can always change that up And try to pay attention to your cadence, because if they suddenly start smacking it when you're doing a 1 2 1 2 3, you know that you got a good cadence. It's crazy, but it makes a difference. You know, I was out fishing one day and I pulled into this bay with my boat, and there was another boat in the bay. I get in there and I cut the motor off, and there's this jazz music that's blaring, you know, and I'm like, who listens to jazz when they're fishing? You know what I mean? Jazz isn't exactly a real calming music to me, you know, because I have to concentrate to try to figure out where the song's going, what's going on there, you know what I mean? And it was like that really weird jazz, you know, like it sounds like crazy music. You know, I understand that jazz musicians have a great sense of timing and meter, but the people who listen to it, I don't know, man. Like the businessman who makes a ton of money. He never leaves the office. He's uncoordinated and he has no sense of timing. You know who I'm talking about, right? The guy who's at the wedding and he's had a little too much to drink. And he claims that he listens to jazz because he thinks that it makes him look more high class. Woo! Hey! Oh, man. Oh, I love jazz. I love jazz. Man. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like high class, doesn't it? You know, we hear that we should honor and glorify God with everything that we do. I want to show you how easy that is. You know, if we just started a relationship with God, what we hear is that we have to be fanatical or we have to turn into some kind of a freak. You know, I can take a passion of mine, like say fishing, and how I can honor God is whenever I catch a fish, I can thank Him for it. You know, or if I'm out in His creation, I can just acknowledge His creation and say, God, this is just beautiful out here. See, that's honoring God. You know, maybe I have a talent. You know, we can worship God with our talents. Let's say maybe I'm a chef. That's what I do for a living. Well, how I could, you know, a form of worship of God is to take one of my talents and use it for Him. So I could maybe decorate a beautiful cake for my church one Sunday. Or maybe I could make a nice dinner for the elders at my church. You see, I love music, and I've played music most of my life. You know, and I'm not the greatest musician in the world at all. But I've decided to take what little talent I may have and use it for Him. You see, I started playing the drums when I was 9 years old. And that led to the bass guitar. And this led to the acoustic guitar. At one point, my church had a need. They needed somebody to help out the worship team, you know. And they needed someone who could do a little bit of everything. one week they needed a drummer. The next week they needed a bass player. And I thought, hey, I can do that. I used to make money out in the world by playing music, and I decided, you know what, I'll take the talent that I have in that area and I can use it for him. I can still go into the world and make money playing music, but I've decided to also use it to serve God.
Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs but not for me, and I will open up my heart to heal and set me free. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever and ever.
Why don't you start a relationship with God? By talking to him, praying, or you can learn about him by reading the Bible, and we can honor and worship him with our passions and our talents. We don't have to worry about having to become some kind of a big evangelist or a preacher. Let's try to just be a Christian.
Nothing to write home about, but you'll work. Decent little one, huh? That was a wimpy bite. That was a terrible bite, though. Barely. No, I didn't have him that well.
When you set the hook, it's a sweep. A lot of other baits that we use, it's a snap, and you're kind of going up with a snap, driving that hook into the top of their mouth. With a jerk bait, you get a hit, it's a sweep. It's more of a sweep. And you gotta know when you're pulling them out of the water with a jerk bait, what's going on. These hooks are extremely sharp. And I use jerk baits that are about this long, and they've got 3 different treble hooks on them. 3 hooks on each treble hook. So we're talking about 9 hooks here. And you're grabbing them in the mouth, and that jerkbait is in their mouth, and all we need is a good head shake.
Wowzer!
And they're going to drive those things right into your hand. So be very careful. Use a net if you can. That'd probably be the smartest thing to do. But if you're going to use your hands, do that belly thing. You know, you belly grab them. For some reason, as soon as you touch a fish's belly, he just freezes. So that's the way to do it.
No, that didn't work out the way I had planned it. I never did catch any big bass. I got down there and the conditions were terrible. And I was only there for a short period of time because of the weather. But we ended up catching about 8 fish. I think we got a couple of pickerel. One of them was halfway decent. A couple of small bass and 3 or 4 walleye. And you know, Oneida Lake is known for those smaller walleye like that are perfect eaters. So, you know, that was a great example of what a jerkbait used correctly can do in cold water under the worst, even the worst conditions, you know? So, hey, I'm happy.
Hey, thanks for watching today. You know, and if you enjoyed this video,
I'm ready.
why don't you subscribe
Time for bed.
to the channel and
Got my jammies on. Come
you know,
on.
share the videos. Appreciate that.
If you would like to help support this channel, or if you're interested in a t-shirt, please contact us at ditchministry@gmail.com.
All right, hey, let's go to bed. Get rested up for tomorrow.
Oh,
Okay?
man. Thank God.